Welcome to another Magic the Gathering Arena video. My name is November Lima, and before I jump on the deck here, just want to remind you guys that I'm doing a giveaway. If you subscribe to the channel and comment to let me know that you did, so I also have a way to reach out to you if you win, you have a chance to win this really cool card. It is the Space Godzilla Death Corona card, and it is a foil. It's not just shiny because it's wrapped up safely in a little guard here. It is a foil. I think they run anywhere between 30 and 40 bucks, and they are no longer being printed because of, well, obvious reasons. The name is a little awkward in current times, but it's a really cool card. I'd love to give it away if I hit 100 subscribers, so hit that subscribe button. Let me know in the comments you did, and you have a shot to win this really awesome card, and I'll send it out to you whenever I hit those 100 subscribers. So the deck that I'll be playing, Simic Flash. I've played Simic Flash on and off ever since Nightpack Ambusher came out in M20. I really like Simic Flash. It's a really cool play style, in my opinion. Playing against it, I actually think that it has some solid weaknesses. So I actually don't mind playing against it. It can be a little annoying sometimes, but this version of the deck is actually very different than what I typically do. Typically, I play a lot more conservative. I have a lot more counters, a lot more interaction. This is very creature heavy, so this is almost like a Flash tempo deck. Let's just jump into what it has. Got the 4 quenches. I don't think I've ever ran 4 before, but in this, I really want to have tempo. So my goal is to beat my opponent before they truly establish a plan. So the quenches should be good enough to where I'm not worried about my opponent paying the 2 mana to have their spells resolve. Growth Spirals to make sure that I have mana out on the field, because I do need lands to be able to cast things. Brineborn Cutthroat's obviously a staple in any Flash deck. This grows bigger every time I cast on my opponent's turn. Wildborn Preserver is also a really great tempo card. This allows me to, anytime I have a non-human enter the battlefield, to grow this a little bit more if I have spare mana. So on the end step of my opponent's turn, I could grow the Wildborn Preserver if I play something. Cunning Nightbonder, this is really great because there's just a lot of counters in the meta right now. Even though Teferi is a thing, people play a lot of counters, especially the mystical disputes, to try and avoid keeping Teferi on the board. So if I get to resolve this, I don't have to worry about any of my creatures resolving, and I'm a very creature-heavy deck. Brazen Borrower, this is probably one of my favorite cards from Eldraine. Just such an overall powerful card. Being able to bounce something off my opponent, anything, even a Teferi on my main step, is really, really powerful. So for that petty theft, it's really good. Having a 3/1 flyer on the board is also really nice. Nightpack Ambusher, again, just probably the most powerful card in the deck. Such a threat. If my opponent doesn't have an answer to this quickly, it gets out of hand real quick. And then 4 Frilled Mystics, just to be able to really counter my opponent and put a body on the board. I think Frilled Mystic is one of those cards that, if my opponent doesn't have an answer for it, it really turns the game around. I get to counter an important card for them, and I get to put another 3 power on the board. So Frilled Mystic is just really powerful. And then 4 Voracious Greatsharks. Again, being able to counter artifacts or creature spells is just really, really powerful. And putting a 5 power body on the board on somebody's end step is also really, really good. So yeah, a lot of creatures. I could potentially see, if I would make some changes to this deck, I could see myself going a little less creature heavy, but I found this version very interesting, so I wanted to give it a run. Land base, I got 3 castles in case I need to scry for answers. I have all the double colored lands and some Fabled Passages for mana fixing. So overall, really solid 2-color mana base. As for the sideboard, 2 Grafdigger's Cages to stop those Citadel Bolus's decks, to stop Winota, because Mardu Winota is definitely a thing. And any kind of graveyard-based deck. Soul Guide Lantern helps me get rid of my opponent's graveyard, especially good against cycling. 4 Aether Gusts to get rid of any kind of aggro deck. Red or green is definitely very powerful right now. 3 Negates and 4 Mystical Disputes if I need to go up against more control decks that I can't really take out quick enough with my tempo creatures. So yeah, that's the deck. Let's just jump into a best of 3 series and see how it performs. Like I said, this is probably the most creature-heavy Simic Flash deck I've played. Not too long ago on my channel, I did a Teamer Flash deck that had some of the similar cards. But it was a little bit more a mixture between Simic Flash and Teamer Reclamation. I'm not thrilled about this hand because of the land base. I can play Wildborn Preserver. I can bounce something. So I have a turn 1, or I have a turn 2, a turn 3. By that time, I should draw into more lands. So I think I'm going to go ahead and keep it. I'm going to start out with the green so I look less threatening to my opponent. 1 green is typically less threatening than 1 blue. They play... This could be Gruul or Teamer. Okay. So I could potentially do a Fabled Passage to pop it for a color, but I don't think I need to do that just yet. I'm just going to go ahead and wait till my opponent's end step and drop the Wildborn Preserver. I was going to say Gruul, but that's a very odd card to see in general. So yeah, I would love to see a land there, but this works. Go in a swing. And see what they do here. I can bounce whatever they do. So if they don't shock, that would be kind of a bummer. Questing Beast, so I'm going to let that resolve. And put it back in their hands. Buy some time. If I get a land next turn, that would be extra sweet. But I'm going to go ahead and pop this anyway. Okay, I got really lucky with that. Really lucky with that. Then I can play the Frilled. Alright, I had a little technical difficulty. My client crashed, so I apologize for a slight interruption in recording there. Nothing happened because my screen wanted to time me out. So hopefully that was the only crash we run into. So yeah, I got really lucky with my land drop there, so that way I'll have the Frilled Mystic open. They're probably going to try to recast the Questing Beast here, and I'm going to be able to deny that. There we go. That's pretty sweet. Yeah, I don't really have anything to pay, so that's kind of unnecessary. Yes, please, I would love to counter that. Land drops are good. The next turn I can bump my Wildborn Preserver. Okay. So curious what they're going to do here. Got 6 mana respectively. I don't think I've seen this in a Gruul list anytime recently. I'm very surprised by that. This guy is close to Diamond now. Interesting. What are you doing? Is this the, I wonder if this is like the Lukka version. There's a Lukka version that has some discard to try and find Lukka. I don't know, it's interesting. Are you going to swing? No? Right, let's go ahead and bring you out. Might as well get the Growth Spiral. Or I can bump up my Wildborn Preserver here. That'd be pretty sweet too. No, I'm not in that kind of rush, I don't think. Let's go ahead and do you. Sure. Yeah, I guess there would have been something to say make this bigger, because now he can double block, but even if he does that, that's fine. I'm not too worried about it. If I was him, I'd double block the Wildborn Preserver. He's going for less damage taken, so that's fair. Sure. Okay. Looking pretty good right now. I have 5 mana, potentially 6 next turn. I do have a counter still, and I have the Cunning Nightbonder. I don't really expect this game to not go my way at this point. Let's go ahead and counter that. Decline. I'd rather, well, shoot, I should have. Thought I had another lance to put the Cunning Nightbonder on the field, but that's okay. Did I decline it? Oh my goodness. I think the crash earlier kind of threw me off. I just declined to counter it, which actually buys them another turn. If I top deck a Brazen Borrower, I can at least send this back. think I'm going to worry about that, though. Let's just go ahead and swing. And next turn, I should be able to finish him off with the Nightpack Ambusher. Because next turn, I'll be able to put 2 bodies on the board. They're going to go down to 1 life. So even though I messed up, I might be okay here. Something has to go drastically wrong for me to lose. Not saying it's not possible, but I'm saying it's unlikely. Okay, so we got a temple. I'm really curious about my opponent's deck here. This is a very strange Gruul deck. I don't think I've seen this deck card in a Gruul deck in a long time. Okay, cool. So we're going to sideboarding. I do think I want the Aether Gusts. Voracious Greatshark's still pretty good here. Cunning Nightbonder seems bad. So I think I'm taking those out, put the Aether Gusts in, and I think that's all I need to do here. Yeah, the Cunning Nightbonder is not great. I think Cunning Nightbonder is really good in a Dimir deck from a land standpoint. I could almost see putting that in the sideboard against more counter-heavy decks. I don't think I necessarily care for it. Ooh, that's so bad. I don't think I really care for it in the main board. That's better. Keep. What do I ditch? I think I ditch 1 land. Because I do like the Brazen Borrowers in this matchup. Typically, Brazen Borrower is not great against aggro, but I think it can be really good here. I don't think I necessarily want 2 of you right now. I'd like to draw more hard answers. Not necessarily hard answers, but solid answers. Fabled Passages for days. So depending on what they do here, if I get the Questing Beast out, I'll probably just Brazen Borrow it. Oh, I didn't even realize I had a Fabled Passage. I'm not really awake, guys. I apologize. Okay, so let's go ahead and get the Brineborn out. It could get stomped here. Okay, I got lucky. I got 2 Fabled Passages, a Castle Vantress, so no matter what, it's going to come in tapped, so that's kind of a bummer. Don't really want to make that trade right now. I'm going to pop this for a green, because I got blue. Ow. Okay. So I think I'm just going to put that back in his hand. I have to say his deck is interesting. His deck is definitely interesting. Okay, let's go ahead and put this back in his hand. Sorry, bud, you just wasted your whole turn. Okay, and we got Quench. That's pretty sweet, too. Let's go ahead and put you out. Swing for 3. Fast turn. I really expected to see a little bit more removal. Typically, if I play against Simic Flash, I'll have ways to deal with their flashy creatures at my end step. So I'll put a stop at my end step and just wait to see what they cast and kill it. It's typically a good way to do it. Alright, so we're going to quench this. Sorry, bud. And let's go ahead and get you out. Brineborn is getting pretty swole here. Go ahead and swing with both. I don't mind trading the Wildborn Preserver at this point. Okay. Looking pretty good. Go ahead and pop you for another blue. And pass turn. So next turn, depending on what they do, I'll have 2 spells no matter what. Either I might Brazen Borrower or something and play this guy, so I have more pressure. Throw Spiral. Yeah, so I'm going to put that back in his hand. And he's probably going to concede at this point, because this is game. There's no way he's going to come back from this. He's really not playing the right cards against a Flash deck. So he's going to chump block here, go down to 5 life. Yeah, he's done for. So yeah, if you play against a Simic Flash deck, you don't want to have spells that use up all your mana. You basically want to just be able to exhaust all your opponent's counters and bump spells and all that good stuff. You don't want to spend your entire turn a spell because you know that's going to get countered or bounced or whatever. I respect my opponent for the cards that he plays because they're really cool and interesting and you never see them, but those are not the cards you want to play against the Simic Flash deck. So overall, I think the deck is pretty cool. I like this. I'm probably going to play and rank up with this a little bit. I was thinking a little bit earlier, trying out a bunch of different decks. Just thinking, what are the powerful decks right now? So what would be good in the meta? And I honestly think that first thing I was thinking is Aether Gusts, because I do expect to see a lot of Bant. I expect to see a lot of Gruul, Red, Mardu. Just a lot of red and green cards. I think Aether Gust is really good. So Aether Gust is definitely a card I think is going to be big again. As it was prior to Ikoria, I think Aether Gust pretty much went in everybody's main deck, which is kind of crazy. Counters are very powerful right now. So with that, I just started thinking more and more, and I really landed on Simic Flash being powerful. Again, it always has been, but I think in this like off meta, trying to determine the meta, Simic Flash is going to be a lot more powerful. Change I would take out the Cunning Nightbonders, probably put in a little bit more hard counters, and then I could potentially see myself cutting maybe one Voracious Greatshark, maybe two. I would actually like to see Sharknado card in here simply for some added card draw and being able to put creatures on the board even if my opponent resolves with the fairy. So those are probably the changes I'll make. But I'll probably stream again or record again with this deck and show you in the future. So my Magic is crashing again, unfortunately. I've had a lot of problems with Arena since the last patch. But anyway, hope you really liked the video. Don't forget to subscribe for this Space Godzilla Death Corona card. Subscribe, hit the comments, and let me know you did, so that way I have a way to reach out to you in case you are the lucky winner of this card, so I get to mail it out to you guys. Anyway, thank you so much for watching, and I'll look forward to the next video. One video I'm really excited to show you. I've been brewing a Grixis deck that is revolved around Lazav, Kroxa, Lurrus in the main deck. It's just a really fun card. I've really been having some good games with it, so I'm tweaking a little bit more before I can take it to the ranked ladder, and I look forward to showing you guys that in the next video. Thank you so much for watching.